Welcome back, guys. Today I'm playing in Drabloon Cave, which is by far my favorite map, especially boss arenas. Vortex map is pretty fun, but I say I prefer this one. That's partly because it's just long enough that I can tend to play pretty risky early on and still get away with it. I tend to get burnt once in a while, obviously, that happens to everyone I think, but very rarely in here, compared to like Bloon areas, where I just don't seem to play very well in there. So this guy is going with a ninja start. If you ever go up against someone who's playing with ninjas, especially if they put down a farm, just send them balloons, boost the balloons. Even if you have to sell your farm to keep on sending, keep on sending. If they build something else, like a dart monkey, then stop and start on your farms, unless you think you can keep on putting a lot of pressure on them. But while they only have ninjas like that guy does right there, just keep on sending. Once he boosts, then he's gone. He has no money left in the bank. He's got a decent amount of, well, not really that much eco, but he's got no money, no cash, so he's not going to be able to defend that. So, going against this guy here, I tend to try not make judgments about my opponents because sometimes it means that I get burnt because of those, but when someone is sloppy and they put their attacks right in the middle of the place, then that's usually a sign that they're newer to the game. So I tend to put extra pressure on those people, try to get them to make some mistakes, whether that's building extra towers or taking some lives away from them or boosts away from them. Just in general, trying to make them uncomfortable and kind of try to take advantage of that. So, round 7, almost without exception, I send blacks. It's a great thing just to keep pressure on. It often means that the other opponent will have to buy the third dart monkey. If they've already bought that, then they might even buy more, because if they've already bought 3, then they're probably a little bit over defensive. This guy's struggling with those, which is why I love that rush. He had 5 dart monkeys and a helicopter down, and that still almost took him out. If he hadn't boosted, it would have been close. So he's pretty far behind right here. I don't have a farm anymore, but I've got 700 eco and a really good defense. There's not much that's going to get past me. Even if he sends like a Moab next round, I would be able to defend it pretty easily, just with boosting. So, take him out. This map's really good because it's got so much space for towers and farms and everything. So you don't really have to worry too much about placement. He's doing a good job keeping pressure on me, but it's not going to work. He is a ninja. So, enough said. So, back to the farms. You can basically put your farms wherever you want. I tend to keep them up top because that's just where I'm used to having them. I tend to try to keep my cursor a little bit closer there when they might be sending a rush. That way I can quickly sell it and buy something if I need to. It's kind of a matter of preference. I don't want to have it usually down towards the bottom because if they rush me, I want to be able to put dart monkeys down there, or if it's a later game, jugs or something else. So I just try to keep them out of the way, since you don't really want to be building your dart monkeys up towards the top, because you're going to be usually reacting to a rush or something, so you're going to be boosting after the balloons have gone past if your dart monkeys are all the way at top, versus if they're down here, you can wait until you have to react and boost. So he just kind of got behind at the beginning because of the ninjas. Ninjas are a decent tower. They are an absolutely awful starting tower unless you're going to go eco, and your opponent's just not paying attention. Then they work okay. Or I guess even in general, if your opponent's just not saying anything to you, then they're okay. But as soon as your opponent rushes you, then you're in trouble, because they cannot defend constant rushes. So they can defend pinks or blacks pretty easily, but they won't be able to defend anything kind of on the top line there. So he's doing a pretty decent job here. A lot of people like to put down a Bloon chipper there in that kind of situation where you're sending pinks at them. It's a little bit less expensive than getting the triple dart monkey. But my advice is just keep sending, because they're going to have to build something else, or they're going to just keep on leaking some lives. Depends on the exact positioning of their towers and the map, but you're going to keep pressure on them, and when round 6 comes, you can just send blacks, and they definitely won't be able to take care of that with just one dart monkey and one chipper. So he played that very close, and I'm going to try to make him pay for it here, and there we go. It's that awesome round 9 yellow rush, and then round 10 lead and pink rush that I just love so much. Then about my farmer, I know this is getting extremely specific, but I've decided that I wasn't necessarily that conscious. I just have started putting it down kind of in the crook of that first bend, just in case it goes late game. It allows me to fit a couple more farms up there. So I don't know. That's just maybe a little tip. It's not going to actually really help that much. It's just kind of more of a thing, so you don't waste a monkey farmer. So I tend to really like sending pinks on this map, especially if they have their dart monkeys up close to the top. You see, he built the 3rd dart monkey, which is never a good idea. You want to have literally as little defense as you possibly can, because every single tower, every single upgrade that you have beyond what you have to have is money that you are wasting, because you could be putting that into eco, whether that's farms or whether that's balloon sends. So you just simply can't build too much defense, especially early on. Towards the middle rounds and later rounds, you're going to want to have some extra defense in case they send a rush. But you can see even here, he can send some camo leads and I'll have to build, but until he does that, I'm not going to build my Glaive Lord. So you just want to make your opponent make you build. So they're going to have to spend money in order for you to spend money. You're not going to just freely upgrade your towers without making them lose some money or lose some farm profit. So I got up the Super Monkey Fan Club. Not super happy about that. I probably should have just boosted. I have 3 boosts. I'm not going to need all 3 of those. I should have just saved the money and not sold my farms. Here I have to sell my farms. I'm not going to be able to just simply boost and take care of that BFB. So this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. They send rushes that are not going to take you out. With the Super Monkey Fan Club, you can defend a lot of rushes. If you're paying attention, you get down your fan club, assuming you have enough money to get your fan club a couple times. So if you have some farms or eco, you're going to be able to get that $8,000 and get up a Super Monkey Fan Club and defend at least 3 BFBs, no problem. Maybe not no problem, but it's not going to take you out most likely. So when people send you just single BFBs, just be smart. Try not to sell too much and just defend the rush. Make them lose all the money that they're taking to send you that tower, as well as all the eco that they're losing. So he's doing the right thing here. Well, kind of. I think he probably, well, yeah. He couldn't have defended the ZOMG, so basically his only option was to re-rush me. It might have been better to send a BFB and then some Moabs, but it's kind of just personal preference, I guess. So I'm going to be able to pretty easily defend this. That ZOMG is going to get through, kind of regardless of what he does. So I just have to kind of sit here and defend at this point, unless he were to get up an ace or something and drop the ability. So, kind of my tips for playing specifically this map. So I hope you enjoyed, and if you want more content like this, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you back next time.